Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Hafiz and Rusyaidi bin HAMIDON. I would like to do a group presentation on subject MEM560, and the company that we have choose is CRISTEL. Our group member consists of Hafiz and Rusyaidi, which is me, HAIKAL ISKANDAR, HASIF IRSYAD, LUQMAN and MOHAMMAD. Okay, next I would like to explain the work distribution among members. Okay, me, Hafiz and Rusyaidi have done the introduction and background of the company. HAIKAL ISKANDAR did the STDs or Sustainability Manufacturing that CRISTEL company have implemented. Hasif IRSYAD did manufacturing process and technology applied by the CRISTEL company. And LUQMAN did element of IR 4.0 adopted by the CRISTEL company. And lastly, MOHAMMAD did the defect or quality issues occurred from the process. Okay, first and foremost, before we start everything, we need to know the introduction and background of the company. And the company that we have chosen is CRISTEL. Background of CRISTEL. CRISTEL history began in 1806 when Frederick J.P., a visionary entrepreneur, purchased a mill and a large tract of adjacent property. He started off from a mission to establish an empire. This is the logo of the CRISTEL, and this too is an example of the product that CRISTEL company have manufactured. Frederick J.P. have revolutionized clock production within a few years by introducing contemporary machinized procedures. He invented machines and patented them. Additionally, he organized other workshops throughout the region. Following this initial phase of rapid expansion, he rationalized his manufacturing unit and chose to make the FARIS/Shuttle facility his flagship location. When he died in 1812, he left the company to his third son, who helped the business expand and develop new facilities. In 1849, in the FARIS/Shuttle factories, J.P. Faris, which is his son, produced the first star fresh saucepan. During the Second Empire, JP grew to be France's second largest industrial enterprise. The 1880s were a golden age for this rapidly expanding company, which achieved additional success with typewriters, coffee grinders, garden furniture, and light fitting, among other products. Since 2018, CRISTEL, the market leader in France for high-quality stainless steel cookware, has been a partner of the French Association of Master Restaurateurs, with recognized 3,800 culinary enterprises around the country. CRISTEL for primary collection or FG origin France guarantee is certified by Veritas. The raw material utilized to manufacture CRISTEL products are of the highest quality, ensuring complete food neutrality. CRISTEL use a non-stick cutting in CRISTEL products in France, which guaranteed to be free of PFOA. Lastly, CRISTEL has developed a line of eco-friendly professional grade cleaning product known as Renoc. Next, I would like to pass on to Hasif to explain further details on the manufacturing process of the CRISTEL company product and the technology applied in manufacturing the product.
Thank you, Adlan, for your explanation. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is HASIF. So I want to continue our presentation with the manufacturing process and technology that applied in this company. Okay, for steel part production process, the first process is hot rolling process. Hot rolling process is a metal working process in which metal is heated above the recrystallization temperature to plastically deform it in the working or rolling operation. This process is used to create shape with the desired geometrical dimension and material properties while maintaining the same volume of metal. The second one is blanking process. Blanking is a steel manufacturing process in which a flat geometric shape is created by feeding a coil of sheet metal into a press and die. In this process, the blank is punched out from large metal sheet. For the third one is deep drawing process. Deep drawing is a sheet metal forming process in which a sheet metal blank is radially drawn into a forming die by the mechanical action of a punch. Is it thus a shape transformation process with material retention? The process is considered deep drawing when the depth of the drawn part exceeds its diameter. The next process is trimming joggling process. Trimming and joggling are processes that are used to cut the edge of sheet metal without leaving any leftover behind them. So this is the trimming joggling machine that used in this company. This is one of the newest technology that used to make this product. Okay, the fifth process is heating process. Heating is a series of industrial, thermal, and metallurgical operations that are used to change the physical and chemical properties of a substance. Annealing, case hardening, precipitation, strengthening, tempering, carburizing, normalizing, and quenching are some of the heat treatment procedures used to metal fabrication. Number 6 is friction press process. Friction press is used for great fogging accuracy is achieved because of the free stroke. So this is the friction press machine. And lastly, for steel part production process is polishing and grinding process. Grinding is the first stage in the removal of mechanically attached material. Grinding is used to remove damaged or distorted surface material from a surface of product. Okay, for the next part is plastic part production process. The first process is injection molding process. Injection molding is a method to obtain molded product by injecting plastic material molten by heat into a mold and then cooling and solidifying them. The material will be loaded into the machine hopper and the procedure will commence there from there. After that, the pellet will be fed through a machine. The machine will heat the plastic pellet before injecting them into mold in the shape of stipend holder or other plastic pieces depending on the application. Different shape of mold are used for different areas of plastic. So the last part is riveting process. Riveting is a fogging process that may be used to join parts together by way of a metal part called a rivet. The rivet acts to join the parts through adjacent surface. A rivet can deal with higher temperature that can burn grime onto or near rivet head. So that's all from me for explaining the manufacturing process and technology that apply in this company. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Adib bin Muhammad Aminuddin and I will present the defect or quality issues occurred from the process. For the first quality issues that we can find from the product is from the material chosen for the product that is easily bent. As you can see the picture that's bent. Even though the material that used is stainless steel, will be easy to bend unintentionally. This is due to the fact that the company used relatively thin sheet metals. For the first defect that we can find on this product when the process is hot rolling process defect. Surface imperfection on strips during the hot rolling process can have a significant impact on the roll product quality. On continuous casting slabs, there are early faults that spread and are inherited from those on the surface or roll steel from upstream rolling processes. As you can see from the picture, when the friction coefficient increases, the defect appear more and more. As you can see from the picture, this is the defect. For the blanking process, the defect that can occur is scratches, rolling marks, and scoring. The plate will be damaged when dragging the plate back and forth on the lower mold, and this kind of scratch is deep and not easy to be polished off. The other defect that can be found is springback from sheet metal forming process. It is caused from incorrect process or number of forming tools. The other one is can be the form and the size of the blank is incorrect. During the forming process, the sheet is excessively thin or thickened. For heating process, the defect that can happen is overheating and burning. Improper hot working of low alloy steel reduce the ductility of materials which faces fracture surfaces, rendering them unsuitable for practical appliance. As you can see from the picture given, it shows that the ductility of the materials will reduce when overheating occur. For friction process, the defect that can occur is hooking. Hooking defect creates a crack initiation and therefore reduce the fatigue resistance. Hooking is a defect that is more likely to occur in friction steel welded lap joints. It appears exclusively in TMAZ next to the weld nugget and may not present in the HAZ where no plastic deformation exists. For the grinding process, the defect that can occur is grinding shatter. It is caused by wheel grinding too hard, wheel out of balance, and wheel out of round. As you can see from the picture, that is the defect grinding shatter.
Hello, my name is SHAHIER from ROSLI, and I will be presenting to you about the elements of IR 4.0 that the company CRISTEL adopted. So the first one is simulation. So simulation is basically a software or device to simulate the layout of products even before it's done or produced. So for this company, CRISTEL, the company uses the simulation to map out the whole factory to ensure that they have their layouts properly placed and can confirm 100% efficiency when doing their products, because the product has to go from one process to the other, and by using simulation we can do that transition smoothly. And also they use simulation to render or make a 3D model of their products to ensure that they can test it in the simulation or ensure its usability is fine before even producing it. So the next one is Industrial Internet of Things, or IIoT. So IIoT can be easily explained as setting up the manufacturing process with sensors or computers that can gather data or monitor data. So how the company uses it to its benefit is that they link up the whole manufacturing process, as its products, like I said before, uses many manufacturing process to make just one product. So when CRISTEL links up everything, they can detect any problems or any defects that is happening during any process, and the data can be transferred to the whole factory. So everyone in the factory knows if the production line has been stopped, which part of the production line is having trouble, and the engineers or technicians can go down there and fix it immediately. Also, they use the IIoT to predict the amount of item that they could produce in a certain amount of time, which is weeks, months, or even year. So this is great because like company like CRISTEL, they receive order from suppliers that how much products they want. So with this, they can accurately measure how long will it take for them to fulfill the orders, to ensure that everyone gets their orders on time and does not back up orders and make late shipments. So lastly is artificial intelligence, AI. And nowadays, I think most people know what AI is, but basically it's a program that will be fed data, and from that data, the program will encode it and learn from the data, predicting its every move, or the program can act like a human, like meaning it can learn and give out output from the data that was given. So for CRISTEL, they use the AI to detect possible defects that will happen on their products, because when we fed the AI data about how the process is made, what the material is, what the dimension is, the AI can calculate the potential percentages of defects, or what are the kinds of defects that will be happening on the products that the human eye cannot see. And this is beneficial because it can detect the defect so much more earlier, and even can detect it before the manufacturing process begins, so the problem can be resolved before it is happening. So also the AI is used for the factory to ensure safety, meaning that it will be fed data on how the company enforces safety in the factory, meaning that the workers can work safely as the AI has learned and give output at how good is the safety in the factory, and how well the workers can work without having any injury. So that is for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Luqman Shahir. Next, my name is HAIKAL ISKANDAR, and I will be presenting about the sustainability manufacturing that CRISTEL have implemented. So, what are the Sustainable Development Goals? The Sustainable Development Goals were adopted by the United Nations in 2015 as a universal call to action that end poverty, protect the planet, and ensure that by 2030 all people enjoy peace and prosperity. So, as you can see, there are 17 goals in the Sustainable Development Goals, and CRISTEL had implemented 4 out of the 17 goals. That is Goal 6, Clean Water and Sanitization, Goal 8, Decent Work and Economic Growth, Goal 11, Sustainable Cities and Communities, and Goal 12, Responsible Consumption and Production. So, for Goal 6, Clean Water and Sanitization, CRISTEL stated that they fully recycled the process of water of any process that uses water for closed circuit operation. Okay, so meaning as we all know, in this era, water has been a very high demand thing. So with CRISTEL taking this step in the SDG, they will lessen water waste. Thus, they contribute to the sixth goal of the SDG. Means that they will not consume as much water, so that other people from the community from the world can use water also. Next up is goal number 8, decent work and economic growth. So, the company contributes on the eighth goal of the Sustainable Development Goal by providing a lifetime warranty and guaranteeing that their product is for life against all manufacturing defects. A good company with great work ethics will always guarantee that their product is manufactured to be the best. By creating such high quality product, the company can be able to export their product to other countries, thus increasing their economic growth. Next is goal number 11, sustainable cities and communities. Okay, this company emphasizes on energy consumption as well on the attraction, transformation, and transport. Meaning, they they are very particular on their energy consumption. They really save their energy here. Why on extraction, transformation, and transport? Meaning, for example, they don't use many vehicles to transport their goods to others, meaning they have a very good schedule, so that not many vehicles will be used during transportation. With the reduce in vehicle, they reduce CO2 emissions and other related pollutions. Thus, they cure the air and decrease air pollution. So here, air pollution is becoming more common now with the amount of toxic gases that are being disposed by factories and transportation used to transport goods. So this company refrains this by reducing the amount of vehicle to transport goods by getting a good transportation schedule. And also, other than transportation, their factories, uh, they have a filter on um, the chimney of uh, the machinery, so that they filter out all the uh, toxic gases that will be released to the air. Okay, so for goal number 12, responsible consumption and production. Again, this company is very particular on what their material or also where they disposed of the products. So, on their consumption, it is stated that 100% of their document are printed on here they say 100% of our documents are printed on PEFC paper, ensuring in particular the sustainable management of forest resource. Meaning, they uses their document uses paper that have PEFC certificate. What are PEFC? PEFC PEFC is products that come from a sustainable managed forest, and also a controlled recycled source, meaning they use paper that are made from a recycled source and also managed forest, so that less forest deforestation will occur, thus healing nature. Other than that, the company also states that 100% of electricity comes from a renewable source, meaning that they don't simply waste uh, sources of energy. They reuse their source of energy, so that it gives back and it creates a sustainable uh, manufacturing. Okay, so next, the evidence of our group work activity, and we had discussed in two different platforms. The first one is WhatsApp discussion. WhatsApp is where um, we discussed on when together and what are the work distribution that had been done. And the other one is Discord discussion. On the Discord discussion, we more discuss a more thorough part of the project, of the assignment, so that we understand better of the company that we had studied. And next, this is the list of references. So this is where we had our reference for our assignment. And so with that, it marks the end of our presentation and our slide. I am Haikal Iskandar. I represent my team to say thank you for your attention and also your time to look through our presentation. Thank you.